My name is Ashley.
Hamana.
I'm a house performer with the UCB Comedy Theater in New York.
I'm just a little stinker. And I would like to have sex with you. Okay. Hello?
And this is my ranking
My name is Piss.
of all of the original characters I performed there this season.
You're crushing this. Legal tender, lovin' tender, chicken tender.
Coming in hot at number 11, it's JD Vance.
Sure, I've been called a bigot, a chauvinist, Mike Pence for 4chan sex pests.
This one bombed. When I performed this piece, JD Vance's vice presidency was looking a little bit too likely for this piece to be received as anything other than a massive bummer. Here's my favorite line.
My recent casual look, granola Paul Hollywood.
Coming in at number 10, it's Almond Parlor.
It's a half iced tea, half lemonade. Yeah, they call it an almond parlor.
I was at a wedding, I kept trying to order an Arnold Palmer, and I kept saying,
An almond parlor.
This is actually the only character I performed this year that was not a debut for the theater. I've been performing this piece since January of 2022. My favorite line was pitched to me by a couple of performers on my team, and here it is.
So, how do you know the bird and goom?
Coming in at number 9, a car salesman.
People ask me, Boom, do you only sell cars with big seats? So you can meet girls with big asses? Yes.
This was the only character this year that I didn't come up with. The concept was pitched to me by another comedian on my team, Eli Coyote Mandel. I'm just ranking it lower because the month when I performed it was pretty stressful, and so I was exhausted during the show. And here's my favorite line.
What I lack in cars with normal sized seats, I make up for in asking you to sit on my photocopier.
Coming in at number 8, my debut this season, Will.i.am's wife.
Did you change that lyric like I said?
The whole concept of this character
was that Will.i.am has this Blanche Dubois style wife who is frustrated with him for the Boom Boom Pow lyric, beat so big on stepping on leprechauns, because leprechauns are canonically small, meaning that being able to step on one doesn't prove one's bigness.
I rank it here because I think for my debut with the theater, I might have chosen something a little bit less niche. Here is my favorite line.
Our daughter gets bullied. Mostly because she's gay, but also because you're her father.
Number 8, a megachurch pastor.
So that we might worship your son the way he intended, with our humble, for-profit, laser lights, pop rock spectacular.
I was raised by 4 Presbyterian ministers, and I have always had this distaste for these cult-like, for-profit, non-denominational contemporary megachurches. We had multiple pieces of original music, lights and sound cues and props and audience interaction, projections and video, and I'd love to give it another go. And here is my favorite line.
I majored in holding an acoustic guitar at the Jerry Falwell Memorial Seminary for Well-Meaning Narcissists.
Number 6, the woman from every HBO series.
I'm whoever Nicole Kidman is playing. And I'm absolutely nailing this American accent.
This was the first character I had written for this season, although it ultimately was the 4th one that I performed. I wrote it because I just binged Sharp Objects and Big Little Lies and was really enjoying the tropes of those leading women. When I performed this character, I was also in a play that was running off Broadway for a few weeks, so it was nice to have something I had already written and polished earlier in the season that I could pull in for such a hectic month. And here's my favorite line.
My troubled tween son is cyberbullying a gay kid.
Number 5, Donna Bahama, the single middle-aged lesbian on your cruise.
I'm what they call an oik. One income, no kids.
I was so joyful performing it. I was really proud of myself to have written and memorized this in only a day, I think, which wouldn't have been possible for any of these other characters, but for this particular show, characters needed to be under 90 seconds. And here's my favorite line.
Well, I'll catch y'all later. I'm gonna go see if they'll put Carol up on the Jumbotron.
Number 4, a police detective, or as my teammates referred to it, Marishka Hairgate.
Because I'm not a regular cop. I'm a beautician. We require 4 times as much schooling.
I'm playing an SVU-style police detective
Who is interrogating Marishka Hargate's current haircut as to the whereabouts of
her late 90s, early 2000s log job with the chunky highlight.
I loved getting to marry the serious, stony-faced cop with the ridiculous bits of, say, using a hairdryer as a weapon, or maybe my favorite part of the character when I watch the missing hair's parents on TV begging for their daughter's safe return. And here's one of my many favorite lines.
Witnesses last saw Miss Hagate's pixie cut in SVU Season 3. Serving us prime Zach and Cody's mom.
Number 3 is your toxic ex from college.
Otherwise known as the lesbian who's here to ruin your life.
I wrote this character because I think it's pretty ubiquitous for your first adult relationship to have been mutually toxic and, as this character puts it,
A Pandora's box of gay chaos.
And here's my favorite line.
What are you waiting for? Let's go have panic attacks at each other.
Number 2 is a piece of which I am so exceptionally proud, and it's a boy prince.
I'm gonna kill a Protestant tomorrow.
So the concept here is I play a little lad
On the eve of his 18th birthday, when his father, the king, has promised him that he will get to execute his very first Protestant.
I studied opera for 5 years, and I knew I wanted to make this piece a Gilbert and Sullivan operatic style patter song. I definitely indulged a little bit and let this character be a vehicle for me to show off. Unequivocally, here's the best lyric.
They'll be clenching their vaginas when I invoke Saint Aquinas.
Unsurprisingly, coming in at number 1 is the next big thing in gay pop.
It's a gay moon party. G-A-Y-M-O-O-N.
I've described it as being sort of a death row last meal of a character for me, meaning it has everything in it that I want. 4 songs in 3 minutes. Queer joy. Joke, 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 joke. It just makes me so happy.
Wait a second. If I'm doing you and you're doing me, then who's flying the rocket?
There's my ranking of all of the characters I did this season. If you have any questions about any of them, let me know. I love to talk shop. And go watch all these characters if you haven't. Except JD Vance. He's never seen the light of day.